So we have the context now around the value of doing local compute. And both of you, Shrish, Tyler, as well as lots of others at Dell, have come up with this brilliant solution, again, formerly known as Dell Pro AI Studio. And now, it's this AI PC solution that we'll have a name for you in the show notes when this episode comes out. And so it sounds like it's a huge initiative in order to have this work across all different kinds of hardware and have the security that people expect and be easy to do, like people have gotten used to with cloud deployments or with just calling an API. Tyler, distinguished engineer, how is it all possible?
Yeah, so we've got a great ecosystem of partners, right? From the silicon layer, model partnerships, application partnerships. And what we saw as we mapped out the journey is that we were in the right place to make a difference, right? So we're pulling together a lot of great technologies that cover a lot of the different pieces and trying to simplify it for our end customers and developers, right? So a lot of this is glue, right? It's making sure that when you're on a Dell Pro Max system versus a Dell Pro Plus, that we're solving for the different hardware ecosystems that are inside of that and presenting that consistent, simple API across those, so that you don't have to know the different details of the quantization parameters and the tool chains that were used to prepare the models for those different platforms and the various runtime components that are in there. We've got that, right? Right now we're at 8 different backend runtimes and counting. Those are not things that we built, right? Those are things that we're integrating and solving for you, so your app doesn't have to carry the difference between an AMD NPU and an NVIDIA RTX Pro GPU and the different models that they need, right? So that's how we don't operate on our own. We're bringing together a rich and robust and innovative ecosystem and trying to simplify on top of that.
Nice. Well, that sounds great. I guess it takes a whole village to raise a little software child. And so, yeah, there's other kinds of features that sound complicated: multi-chip support, model management, command line tools. How do those kinds of features support people like our listeners who are hands-on practitioners, data scientists, AI engineers, software developers? How do features like that support them in their workflows?
Yeah, so just take them one at a time here. So multi-chip support, we have systems that have 4 or 5 different flavors of accelerators in them, right? For an application to be able to route traffic appropriately across those, to be able to say, hey, I want this model running on the NPU for this session, but on the GPU for the next session. That's quite a bit to manage, right? On a system that's going to cover a couple percentage of your deployment base, right? But for the end user, being able to take advantage of all those different silicon types on the system they buy, that's really important to them, right? So what we've done is we've tried to make it simple for applications of all kinds to take advantage of the best local resources that are available, and kind of mask some of that complexity. Now, on top of that, we've built a robust model management framework so that we're making sure that the right versions of models and all of their dependencies are getting to the right platforms. Shirish talked about our Dell management portal integration. That's making it easy for the IT admin to deploy, right? So you're loading up bundles of our solution, you're attaching them to applications, and then when you go and deploy it to 5,000 users, you're not having to hunt and peck and pick and choose different versions of the application to land on those different platforms. We unroll that complexity for you. We make sure that the right versions of the models and all of their dependent packages are landing on those systems and showing up underneath a consistent application. Command line tools, that's really part of our developer and management experience so that you can get granular. That's something that we're not reinventing. We're making sure that we're leveraging some of the best practices that are out there so that those of you who are familiar with local AI development, you're going to see very similar patterns in using Dell Pro AI Studio or the formerly known solution in your development experiences. So we're trying to make it easy for you and also easy for enterprises to deploy.